So the question is, um, what should I do if my partner did not ask me about marriage? Should I be the one to ask him about it? So, what is your opinion about that?
Yeah, but we need more details. Like how long they've been together.
They have been together in 6 years, and then the girl asking about settling down. She wants marriage, but she is shy to ask her boyfriend about marriage.
She's not shy. She's lazy.
Oh,
Because look, if you think about it, and I told you this many times before, if you want something, don't wait for this thing to come to your life. Just go and get it yourself. Like, that's the best way to kind of look at things. Because if you're gonna go and get it, you cannot get it. At least you know you can have it, right? And
exactly.
and you can close the chapter and move on. But if you're gonna wait, you might wait as well as for another 20 years, and you're just burning time, right? And you're not gonna get what you want. So with guys, it's for most of guys, it's like this. So you have a good thing going on. For example, you develop, like you talk, you come and visit every couple of months or once a year, whatever it is. So you already have a system kind of going on. You're kind of comfortable with the way things are. Marriage it's complicated. Why would you complicate your life, you know,
Mhm.
with not much upside out of it, unless you're forced, so the best way to force somebody to commit, and I'm not saying for all right, like we didn't have that problem, like
Mhm.
it's, I'm not up for marriage, but if this is the only way, I'd rather have that than not have you at all. Like it's a clear choice.
Mhm.
But you know my goal was that there technically, I want a right partner for me, which I found in you, and for me to have you around me, because long distance, as it's better than nothing, it's not ideal, and if I can change that, of course I will. But same thing is, we are limited laws and regulations, right? So the law says we have to be together for 2 years. Prove that, then you file your paperwork, and then you have to wait a certain amount of time that you don't have control over.
Mhm.
It's not up to you. So is the approvals and among other
Oh,
things, right? So these
okay,
things
narito.
technically take
Ano
time and money.
po?
So if normally, I mean, you can see a lot of couples, like I've done this before, and this
Mhm.
is why one of me and my exes broke up, because we were together for 6 years and I didn't want to commit to the marriage, which he did. The reason why I didn't, because I knew I don't want to be with her.
Mhm.
And because, when you work so much and when you're so busy, you kind of hope it's like, okay, things are not working out, but maybe they get better. It's just like you put so, I don't know. I think you just get complacent, and you are okay with the situation as you're in, because at least you know the situation. At least where when you change things, you always take a risk, because sometimes you can make a change and you hope for the best, but there's always a risk it might get worse.
Mhm.
So usually the best way to kind of move on is when somebody puts you off the wall and you have no options but to make a change. That's why sometimes women, they put the guy, by the wall and say, "Listen, we're gonna get married, or it's over, because I need commitment." Now, marriage, like I said, it was an artificial way to manipulate people,
Mhm.
uh, to control population, and it's very embedded within us. But it somehow does tell you that like if the guy's willing to marry you, he's willing to commit. And if it will be so to me, marriage absolutely has no benefit because it does not make your relationship better. It does not make it worse. People get married, they split up. Single guys, people that never get married, they can live together forever. It's a contract. In our case, it's the only way that it can bring us together. So now, there's a good vehicle that you can jump onto because it's the only way. Like if there will
Mhm.
be any other way that would be faster and easier, of course I would take it. But there's none. So you have to play the game that, it's kind of presented to you. If the guy, well, so we know that when you're young, time doesn't matter for you because you don't know any of it. But
Mhm.
when you're getting older, the time becomes more valuable because you
Mhm.
have less and less of it. And as for me, I try with my time, control the
Mhm.
things that I can, and just hit every goal right there and there, and move on to the next. So this is why I didn't wait. We knew that 2 years is coming close to, and we filed the paperwork on exactly 2 year anniversary.
Mhm.
Not a day,
Interesting.
not a two. I was at the UPS shipping papers at the 2 year anniversary
Mhm.
because I'm serious and because I mean it. But if
Mhm.
people postpone it or they kind of question it, it's like, listen, if you question your lady, maybe she's not the right one for you because the lady
Mhm.
you want in your life or the man you want to, you don't want to wait another day, right?
Mhm.
And, so if somebody's waiting 6 years, it's either they're, look, I mean, if you have, like I said, you have people that are just straight to the point,
Mhm.
being as efficient as they can. Um, they don't put things off, for next day or a week left there, whatever. I mean, and I think that's the type of person you want to be with that, you can rely on them. 6 years,
Mhm.
really? Like, you know what I mean?
That's a long time, actually.
Like if you don't, yeah, because that's the thing is like you wanna go to the next level and move on with your life,
Mhm. Well, the girl is
but you have some.
35 years old. So at this age, it's for marriage stage, right? So,
It, it should have been 4 years ago if the guy was serious about her.
mhm.
4 years ago, she's not gonna get that 6 years back.
Mhm. Yeah. So,
Like I would rather,
mhm.
look, I would rather be with someone that knows exactly what they want. Like my goal is to have a family, to have a good wife next to me, and this is my goal. It's never guaranteed it's gonna be the particular person you're talking to, but like I said, it's just so much easier to deal with people that know exactly what they want. And I'm not saying I was always like this because, like I said, in my previous relationship was much different. It's but because I just did not see myself with her because she was, um, I want to like clean up my language here. Let's just say she was not for me.
Mhm.
We had absolutely nothing in common, and we're fighting from the get go. And
Mhm.
there's a reason for. So look, and I'm not saying it's on her because I failed. I failed in many things, including listening to her and addressing her issues.
Mhm.
So I take, have the responsibilities, but my only regret is that we just wasted 6 years of our lives. And when she put me by the wall saying we are gonna get married, I'm gonna move out, she did us both a favor.
Mhm.
And I've learned from this, enough to where I said, okay, so this thing didn't work out, and like I said, I kind of um, educated myself about certain aspects of relationship to find out why am I failing, and I found some good answers, and I worked on it. I kind of created a plan, find somebody that's opposite from me, um, and just commit, and don't question things as long obviously as things work out, um, and your expectations are met, and and I've previously stated there's certain expectations that I'm
Mm-hmm.
patient with,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not up to the debate or even negotiations, and it's not for me. I'm fine the way, what do you call it, that things are. But yeah, 6 years, I mean, her only way, and look, relationships are not complicated, they're simple.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him it straight up, because technically what she's doing is she's being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I don't want to. No, you're being lazy, because guess what? Confronting your partner is gonna take effort, you
Exactly.
know, and ask and tell them straight up, I love you, I care about you, I want to be with you, but I've been waiting for 6 years, and since you're not doing anything about it, I decided I will. So I'm gonna take charge of this relationship. I'm gonna ask you a simple question: are we getting married? And then we're gonna, find a way to be together like
Mm-hmm.
every day, or if not, I have to move on. I don't want to. I want to be with you, but I don't want to waste another 6 years of my life.
Mm. Well, yeah, that's a good advice from you, love.
I mean, look, have goals, figure out the realistic dates and
Mm-hmm.
just hit them.
Exactly.
Like you can have a room for a little error. And like I said, certain things we can control, certain things we cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Filing paperwork with immigration, obviously we cannot control the timing, but we can control when we file the paperwork. you
Mm-hmm.
know um these things, like I said, it's that, like I said, that just shows you that somebody's serious about you, is because they're actually, instead of talking,
Mm-hmm.
they're showing you with their actions.
And that I'm so grateful. And
But don't smile. I'm like crying my eyes out over here, because I'm like, I'm committing to you, and you're so horrible and bad that, oh my god, stop it, what am I doing to myself? Okay.
well,
I see it, and I'm crying, and you're like, oh, honey, stop! You're laughing at me. How dare you?
well, you're so handsome.
Oh, please. You only say that because each time you tell me I'm handsome, I send you $5. Okay, that's the only reason you're telling me that. Just admit it.
Okay.
Oh my God, man, I'll be
I'm just
broke.
kidding.
I'm like, oh, you're handsome, 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 handsome. $30.
Oh, well, thank you so much for very well said um, answer for the question. Thank you so much.
Of course, that's a gang sign, not peace. That's a gang sign.